Good evening. So, I hope you guys are doing well tonight. I think that I'm doing pretty well. Really no big changes to report. I went for a little bit of training at work today. And I learned some stuff. It's something how some of the things that we've used at the bedside to take care of patients has advanced since the time I was a new nurse. Like for me, in short, I started out doing med surg. I specialized in cardiology, and now I'm currently on a medicine floor. So I'm looking at all these various things that they've come up with since then, and it's like, oh my gosh, like, like really, like I wasn't alone. Me and other people were like looking like, what in the world? When did they come up with this? And it's neat, I think, it's just something to wrap your mind around. And then tonight just spent some time with my family and, kind of got prepared for tomorrow since I'm working tomorrow. So I saw Pam, I saw her on here, and I see my hubby. Hi, Tim. So tonight we're going to continue our journey through the court cards for the swords. So last night, briefly touching upon it, we did talk about the Page of Swords. And again, this is generally speaking youthful energy, bright-eyed, intelligent, but not confident, right? So again, look at the footwork, very hesitant, right? Well, if you didn't catch that Tarot Teaching Moment, feel free to check it out in our group or on YouTube. Tonight, we're going to go another level up here with the court cards, and we're going to discuss this one, which is the Knight of Swords. So I want you to take in the overall colors, and we're always talking about color meanings and what that means to you, because again, this is a unique thing and very intuitive. What is the main figure doing? What's in the scenery? How does this card make you feel? Does it make you uncomfortable, comfortable, or some other feeling? And just kind of reflect on that for a moment. So in general, when we're talking about the Knight of Swords, we no longer have that self-doubt that our page had. The Knight has that same intelligence and overabundance of energy. And being that we're still dealing with swords, we're talking about the element of air, which is all about logic, communication, and action. So what we have here is this figure, and again, we're talking about the overall energy, so it doesn't matter that we are seeing a male here. It could apply to a male or female. So the way that they're holding the sword upright means, like, basically that's synonymous with this figure standing up for what they believe in. This is the card of, say, an advocate. So when people say speak up for people in our society where they don't have a fair break, there's not equality, or they're somehow lacking, they need to be given a voice, this would be the person that's rushing in to, just like any characteristic knight on a movie or a show, they're going to defend them and say, hey, you're wrong and you need to leave people alone. We're dealing with that kind of energy. A very courageous person, which one of the descriptors I read is this figure would be fearless. I kind of disagree with that. I feel like when we're displaying courageous behavior, we are afraid, but it's acting and doing what you believe is right despite feeling afraid. So I feel like this person probably has a lot of adrenaline going as they move forward. And they're moving forward really fast. I mean, the horse is white in coloration, white standing for purity. So think of something like snow, clean as snow, okay? But look at the way the horse is looking back in the night. Like, are you crazy? Are you sure you want to go into the storm? Because notice in the background, the way that the trees are swaying, the wind is so strong okay, that it's moving toward the knight and he's going up against this opposition, which is what that wind is significant for. So let's see here. So we have a lot of red with his cape and then the feather that's adorning his helmet. So again, one descriptor for red is we're talking about a very passionate individual. Not only just intellectually smart, but passionate, which really makes them successful in their endeavors, because instead of, not like our page, just kind of not sure and just kind of standing there and questioning themselves, not feeling ready, this one, this energy is fully going forward. Like, it's not even, this figure is not even taking into consideration the obstacles that more than likely will be in their way. They're just going to go for it. And they're doing it full speed ahead. So it's not like some of our other Knights in Tarot where the horse is just standing there, or it's just maybe a slow stride. This is at a fast gallop. So we do see a predominant blue sky. So that's a good thing, right? So when we think of blue, we think of truth. Or even it can stand for tranquility. But for this, I see this person making their truth known to the world. And then, of course, with our clouds, meaning we don't have full visibility. That, yeah, they're going to stand up and speak their truth and take the action moving forward. But again, they're not taking the time to think about all the obstacles. And no, they don't really have... they've got an objective. They know what they want to accomplish, but they don't have that big picture, if that makes sense. Kind of like blinders. You know how horses wear blinders? That's what our knight has going on. Very much determined and focused. And then the background is predominantly, we've got a bit of red in the distance. I'm not sure if those are hills or mountains, but then predominantly closer to our knight, we've got that yellow coloration, which is very symbolic of like the sun from the major arcana. We've got those vibes. So we've got illumination. Our knight can see where they're going. Knowledge. It's a good thing, right? That their path is yellow. Let's see here. So if you get this card in a reading for yourself or other people, it can mean different things. And just like I always tell you guys, you got to look at what cards are around this one and internally reflect if it's a reading for yourself, or converse with the person you're reading for. So as far as like matters of, say, love goes, this is the kind of person who will sweep in and totally knock someone's socks off. They're very dramatic, romantic, all sorts of these gestures, very spontaneous, to where somebody is rather in awe of them, and, all about the whirlwind of the relationship. But the thing is this energy will leave as fast as it comes in. So this person will more than likely, despite, say, having an interest, say, romantically in someone or even a friendship, they have a tendency of getting bored. They can be a bit fickle, and they're going to move on. With swords, again, we're dealing with logic. This is not somebody that really even enjoys the emotional attachments that, say, our cups do. When you think of cups, that's water, it's emotion. Our swords are all about that logic and intellect. They're attracted to intelligence and challenge. They want somebody to challenge them. They don't want an easy conquest. That's not what drives them. With career, this is the person who is assertive. And I want you to note that keyword I just used, because when I get to the reversal, I'm going to get into the bad way of communication that I have touched upon in previous go lives. So with someone being assertive, they are making their opinion or belief, however you want to word that, known on something, but in such a way where it does not violate the rights of the other person, and the other person still feels valued, respected, and safe in the conversation. Okay. They're generally looked at their peers in awe. This is the person who is going to literally take their horse by the reins, as that saying goes, and they're going to really do it to it. They're going to really invest the time into being promoted, starting that project, maybe even spearheading it, right? Because again, we have a very intelligent, capable energy on our hands. And yeah, they're going to get results. So this is a very kind of motivated person that inspires others to be motivated, right? They take ownership for their work, and they're very proud, and they're all about where they're at, right? And I think we've all met these types where you enjoy working with them and they inspire us to want to be better. And I hope if you have, and I hope that one day you guys work with somebody like that, because it's a pure pleasure to work with people who are intelligent and have that gift of knowing how to communicate with their peers, and they increase their morale, and you see positive results, and you feel like a team player. You feel like you've got a voice. These are the ideal leaders. They don't even have to be an official supervisor. This is somebody you work alongside that's exemplary. Like, yeah, they're awesome. With finances, this is somebody who they're making the big moves. So they know they want to save some money back. Back when we were talking about our page last night, the page was all about studying and gaining insight and all that good stuff. Well, this figure is all about, okay, I'm going to go ahead and put this so much back in savings. Looking at the stock market, investing, that type of thing. We're talking about the big moves. They've got this belief, this vision of where they want to go, and they're going to execute it. So I'm going to read off the descriptors for the meanings of the upright. So we have confident, forthright, a strong advocate, ready to stand up for beliefs, a sudden truth coming to light. So that could mean that, oh, wow, okay, again, this is sudden in nature. The swift movement of air. I love that description. And that's per Rachel Pollack. Again, swift movement of air. It's a swift mind. We're talking brilliance, quick thinking. So this is somebody that thinks on their feet, right? Courageous, assertive, direct. So they're not going to sugarcoat. Impatient, focused, ambitious, strong, determined, fast thinking, driven to succeed, action oriented, and disregard to obstacles. So I've already discussed with the symbols about how this figure is riding into the storm, not, away from it. We talked about the white horse standing for purity, and another viewpoint described it as intellectual energy with that white color. But I think more so commonly it is referenced as purity. And then that sword being held high, showing there's dedication to a purpose or a mission, So with love, again, we're looking at somebody who's easily bored with a partner. They're fickle. It is hard for them to commit. With career, they're focused. They're making the big moves, talking promotions, new job, exciting project. And with finances, we're looking at that focus. Again, we've got that big focus going on, right? And taking action. Now, let's say if it resounds with you to read reversals when you do tarot, you get this and it's in reverse. Well, like we've talked about in previous Go Lives, it generally can mean the opposite of the upright meaning, or as Rachel has put it in her books, it could be a heightened or exaggerated meaning of the upright. So what we're seeing here is somebody who, how do I put this? They are aggressive. So you know how when it's upright, I told you to remember the key word of being assertive, which is okay because people are feeling valued and respected and listened to, right? And included. With aggressive means that this person does not communicate well with others. They have an objective. They do not value what other people have to say, their opinions on the matter. They just know what they want to have done. And they make it known to people that no, they don't care. And the people don't like that because they don't feel all those, they don't feel valued and respected and listened to, right? That usually does not lead to good outcomes because to be an influential leader and to have good outcomes, you have to be able to positively influence other people to be a bit on your side and work toward the same goal, or else you're not going to be successful. Well, being that this person with this aggressive energy violates their safety, they no longer feel safe to even speak up on the subject. This is not a good energy. Okay. It's not going to be a productive one. This is going to lead to this figure feeling very burnt out and exhausted, and more than likely things in that environment with others will get toxic and it will become worse because of their communication style. So they really need to take a hard look on how they communicate with others because it's just going to get worse, With love, this is not a good lover to have. This is somebody who's controlling. They can be abusive, jealous. They want to be right. They do not value what their partner has to say. This would be somebody who is talking to the other person in the relationship, again, without giving that person that voice or having them feel safe. There are more arguments, okay, because we're looking at more of an exaggeration, right, of the upright energy. And with finances, this would be the scam artist. So these are the people who try to rip people off of their hard-earned money through deception, manipulation, bullying, pressure. This figure in reverse is down to increase their finances, but they're going to put the pressure on whoever they're trying to get money out of, and not in a good way. So like I've said in previous go lives, this would be like somebody calling our elders up, trying to scare them and trying to pump them for money. Okay. That's the kind of energy I'm talking about. Bad, toxic energy. So some descriptors of the reversal, I have a star by aggressive, rude, ruthless, arrogant. It's energy without direction. They have scattered thinking. So instead of having the focus of the upright, they're not focused. They're scatterbrained. And again, we're looking at some burnout and exhaustion. They're disregarding the consequences of their actions. So when it's upright, this person's going to think it through. Again, we're talking about an intelligent person that is assertive and knows how to talk to people. In reverse, that's not the energy we're dealing with. They are acting without thinking their actions through, and with how swords value logic and the intellect, this would be somebody coming from more of, I would say an emotional state. It's of a more of a reactive state, if that makes sense. So with love, we've got aggressive, controlling, or bully. With career, it's ruthless. They're not caring about the cost to others. This is the person who will step on other people to advance and get ahead, and they don't care about the impact to other people. Okay. Finances, they stop at nothing to earn money, even if it's illegal. So we're talking fraud, scams, coercion, shady business deals. That would be the reverse of the Knight of Sword energy. So that covers what I wrote down that I wanted to discuss with this card. And now we'll go into the comparison ones. So I did keep this one out from last night just to so you guys can see the progression. So here from the Tarot of the Abyss, we have the Page of Swords from last night, who you see how she was looking up toward the sky, inviting that knowledge, enlightenment. There's the book open, right? When we're talking about the page. Well, here we still have that same figure with the labyrinth behind her, but now it's no longer in the sky above her head. She's literally holding onto it, and that sword is piercing that light, which is synonymous for the knowledge, understanding. It shows that she's taking action. She's making the moves now that she has that. And she's very much focused on that orb. She's not even looking at us. The wind is still blowing around her between her hair and her garment. So I really like what the artist did here. You know, it's really cool. Let's see here. So with this one, we see this person, okay, and they are totally running toward their motorcycle. And around them, it's a bit barren, but above them, there's this big black bird. It's so big, I'm kind of leaning toward it might be a hawk. But this just goes to show it looks like they're moving rather quickly, and they're moving away from us, okay? So again, very focused on getting to where they're going. And then you can see the artist used a bit of the white by the feet. So there is some wind that we still have in common with that. The white of the hoodie. Okay. So we have that purity. We got some clouds in the sky. Got some blue coloration there. Okay. Again, they've got their truth. They're going to make that truth known. That it might be a bit rocky of a climate riding that bike on that road that's not paved and there's no gravel, but they're going to do it. They're going to get to where they need to go, you know? So I thought that was pretty cool. And then let's see here from my Crow Tarot deck, I actually like this one. So it shows our crow friend, and there's the white horse, and it looks like we've got the wind in the picture. Okay, you see those lines there. And they're moving forward, and they're taking that action, you know, and here the sword is pointing forward as well. It shows that swiftness and that movement. And then here in the background, it does look a bit rocky, but you see how they've incorporated green. So this is someone who's going to be productive in their endeavors and successful. They're putting in the work, you know, they're doing it, you know. So I think that's really cool. And then we still have the cloud cover. Again, it's disregarding the obstacles, so focused that it may, you know, this energy may not even be seeing the big picture. However, they've got a truth and they're totally going for it, you know. And then I always end it with a card it's generally from the Hush Tarot, because it's not based out of Rider-Waite-Smith. I don't hate this card and I don't love it. It shows this figure with this helmet and kind of scantily clad. I mean, the shirt is partially on there, but you know what? It looks like it's moving forward, and there's a cactus, or actually that looks like a little Venus flytrap actually. And there's a big ant by the feet there. And, ooh, I don't know about what in the world is in the background there. It could have been some little creature that this person may have killed or something. So other than the armor, and yes, it's holding a spear, which could be synonymous, okay, with the sword, because spears are meant to kill, just like swords are. Yes, it looks like this figure's moving forward. To me, it doesn't have that same energy, even though ants are known as hard workers, so maybe that's another insight that could be derived. But I don't like the literal killing in this picture. It looks like it conquered this big beast behind it, because then we're getting more into, instead of assertive, that would be aggressive energy. That's taking away, literally taking another living being's life away. which is not the energy we're dealing with. The energy of that would be, the Knight of Swords reversed, but we're dealing with assertive. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, Rider-Waite-Smith is the way to go when you're learning tarot. So I think that wraps us up for tonight. My work schedule is like all over the place. So this will wrap us up on the tarot teaching moments for this week. And then what I'll do is I will put out an announcement next week when I will be doing the tarot teaching moments, as my work schedule allows, of course. And then on Sunday, I will do our weekly forecast. So I'm looking forward to that. Same time, I'll probably do that. Probably around 8 p.m. or so. I'll hop on and do that. And I think that sums me up for tonight. So I hope that you all get a lot of good rest and relaxation in as we move into Friday tomorrow. And I appreciate you immensely for being here. Thank you. It does mean a lot to me. Bye.